WBO World Light Middleweight title coming up next at London Arena then. And Nicky Piper has joined us. Well, you brought your Welsh winner with you. What about this next one?
Well, there's no Welshman in the next one.
No, I know, but who's going to win it? Who do you
I
see
think
winning?
Dodson's going to win it. I know people... Yeah, I think Dodson. Obviously, Winky Wright's a great fighter, but I actually have always tipped Dodson to be world champion. I think he's got tremendous power, as well as boxing ability, and I just think that tonight's his night.
Well, why has he gone such a hard way about getting to the top?
Because he hasn't been the most easy of boxers. He doesn't get on with promoters, put it that way. Yeah. He likes to argue. He thinks that his way is right. He wants to do his way.
He's a bit of a maverick.
Exactly. He thinks that the boxing managers are out to get every boxer in the world. They're the bad men. He doesn't. He wants to run his own way. It's not the way to go about it. And I think he's learning. He's now with. He's got his shot. He's with Barry Hearn, but he's built up to #1 contender. They couldn't avoid him. He's got his shot, and this is it. And he's got to take advantage of it, because if he loses, it's the end.
Is it a deserved, overdue title shot for this man?
Long overdue. I think Dodson will win because he's got green on, and that's my favourite colour to go.
That will have nothing to do with it. Even I know that.
No, Dodson's got such a good chance of winning. I mean, Winky Wright's he's a fabulous boxer. He's a great tactician, and we've seen what he can do against guys that will stand in front of him and try and trade with him. But Dodson's a different kettle of fish completely. They're both southpaws. They say southpaws make for a bad fight, but I think this will be the pick of tonight's crop.
We had an excellent southpaw meeting last weekend, didn't we?
But he's a brilliant fighter, and he's just unfortunate he's coming up against another brilliant fighter.
Barry, tell us more about Dodson and how he can win this fight tonight.
I think Dodson has got, he's got to stand right on top of Winky Wright. Winky Wright can box and fight, and this is what the guys are forgetting. This guy's an exceptional fighter, Winky Wright. He can both box, he can fight. He beat Bronco McCart in fantastic style to win the title. He's taken apart Ensley Bingham and Steve Foster. However, this guy's a different kettle of fish. He's a smarty. He's got to stand on top of him. He's got to take the fight to him, and he's got to push him to the ropes and just work him and win the rounds.
I know you've been analysing the tactical battle, Barry. Let's have a look at your findings here.
Adrian Dodson is largely unknown to boxing fans, but he's a classy fighter. He puts his punches together well and is always looking to find an angle for his shots. He works well to both body and head, and rarely misses, as he's very accurate with both left and right. He's also relentless in pursuing his opponent once spotting a weakness. Dodson has power, as we can see a two-punch combination blasting out his opponent. And he's definitely got a puncher's chance here tonight against Winky Wright.
All very impressive, but the only problem is that it's this man who stands in his way. An outstanding reigning world champion, making a third defence, and travelling to England has not proved a problem for this American. How good has he been over the last couple of years?
I think he's been exceptional. I mean, I really think, you know, let's get into the right category. I think that Adrian Dodson's better than both Ensley Bingham and Stevie Foster. I think considerably better. But this guy has fought all around the world. He's promoted by, or managed by the Akari brothers in France, and promoted by Frank Warren. And he doesn't come over here ill-prepared. He's worked himself, you can bet, to a frazzle. He knows what the job that's ahead of him, and he's got work to do, and he'll be fast and elusive and try and make this fight as difficult for Adrian Dodson as possible. But it's the best fight of the night, without a doubt.
Well, we certainly expect it to be. Thanks for now to Barry and to Nicky and Duke. We're so excited about this meeting. It'll be next. Square Garden, his first appearance in the United States against Kevin Kelly. That comes later. Duke McKenzie, Nicky Piper and Barry McGuigan keeping me company here in the studio. But more business from the London Arena. We've had 2 world title fights already. And next up, what we may expect to be the fight of the night. It's for the WBO World Light Middleweight title, and Ronald Winky Wright comes to defend his title once more, this time against a man described as the hidden secret in British boxing, Adrian Dodson. Nobody doubts the talent, but where has Dodson been? Tonight he gets his chance to prove that he is a potential world star in his own right. Let's hear from Mike Goodall.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go into our next world title contest of the evening, and this time little fellow who's fighting across the pond in Madison Square Garden tonight, Adrian Dodson, not short on self-belief. The most precociously talented amateur youngster. Won every title there was to win, including the ABA Seniors. But it's been a while for him to get this chance here for the world title, and he's taking on one of the very best world champions in any weight. A man who's had his difficulties with promoters, Barry Hearn, you see there, who's financially guiding him here. And it could be very big money they're talking about if he should win here tonight against Ronald Winky Wright. How good is he? We're going to find out. Up to now, he's answered all the questions.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring, the WBO light middleweight champion of the world, Ronald Winky Wright.
Born in Washington, D.C., living in St. Petersburg, Florida, but he's taken to England like it's his second home. Fights, 37 wins, 22 inside the distance, including a quite staggering performance against Steve Foster, who he stopped in the 6th round in Manchester early this year. Real talents, two real personalities, and both have unlimited skill. You just can't stop winking. The bare statistics, dead level on height. Right just inside the limit of 11 stone, and with a 1-inch advantage in reach. Right, the younger man with the much greater experience. 38 fights to 18. But Dodson's been some useful customers as well. Not quite at the same height, though, as Wright.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is conducted and sanctioned under the rules of the WBO. President Francesco Valcasel and the officials at ringside, the supervisor appointed for this contest by the World Boxing Organization is Mr. Gene Glenn of Ohio in the USA. The British Board of Control steward, Mr. Never Reed, QPM, the president of the British Boxing Board of Control. The timekeeper, Mr. Michael McCann from London. And our judges at ringside for this contest, Mr. Harry Davis of Ontario, Canada. Mr. Manuel Martixar from Leon, Spain. And Mr. Paul Thomas of Derby, England. And the referee in charge of this contest from Los Angeles, Mr. Lou Moretz. Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Warren for Sports Network proudly presents a contest of 12 3-minute rounds to decide the WBO Light Middleweight Championship of the World. Between introducing the boxers, and firstly coming out of the red corner, wearing the black and white trunks, coming from Islington, London. the official WBO #1 contender for the title. He's a former undefeated WBO Intercontinental Champion and former ABA Champion and Olympic representative. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Adrian Dodson.
Big support. London boy, originally born in Guyana,
Ladies and gentlemen, across the ring
now
in the blue
very
corner,
much at home.
wearing his silver trunks trimmed with red, coming from Florida in the United States. He, as a professional, has had 38 contests with an impressive 37 wins, 22 coming by way of the big KO with just one loss. He weighed in at 10 stone, 13 3/4 pounds, and comes to the ring the current WBO light middleweight champion of the world, making the third defense of his title this evening, Ronald Winky Wright. Referee Mr. Lou Moret will now give his instructions to both boxers.
This really should be some fight.
Well, I think you'll see more talent in a boxing ring between two boxers. This should be a cracker.
Both absolutely sure of themselves and sure of their talent, but they're going to find out just how massive that talent is in the next few minutes.
You have to remember Dodson does have some of the advantages here. He's probably a more powerful puncher than Wright, and at least hand speed maybe a little bit faster, at least as fast. It's just that Wright knows all the tricks in the book, and he causes opponents to make so many mistakes, pulls them off balance, knows it all. Wright's getting the jab moving straight away.
It is a quite brilliant punch.
It's not a rangefinder. I mean, that's a solid jab, and it's catching Dodson. Dodson has to do something about that jab. I think Dodson's plan was to be aggressive straight from the off, expecting Wright to back off, but Wright standing his ground and meeting with that southpaw jab.
He's been in with some good fighters, says Adrian Dodson, particularly, of course, Lloyd Hannigan, who he fought here on the Ben McClellan bill. He fought very well, but of course the dreadful injuries to McClellan sort of hid the performance of Dodson on that particular night. But
has to be said too, Simon, Hannigan was well past his best. I mean, Dodson did a good job with him, but he was definitely well past his best. Now this jab is going to be a real problem, and Dodson's found that out right from the off. He's trying to bob past it, and he can't do it. He's going to have to start blocking the jab and walking in after it. See, he's trying to slip the jab. If that's not going to work, he can't take too many of these because they're sharp punches. That's better.
a man who has no doubts, Dodson, no doubts about his own ability, but he's soaking up a bit of leather here with that jab.
The good thing, Dodson, he hasn't stopped coming forward. So if he'd stopped coming forward and started trying something else, it would have been a big psychological advantage for Wright. Wright would have known that he's changed his tactics already, but Dodson stuck with it, and he's getting close now. I mean, the amount of jabs he's taken to get to this stage, he's losing the round, but at least he hasn't lost the psychological battle. He's stuck with his tactics, and now he's getting close. Well done, Dodson, because that took a little bit of bottle. That's a hurtful jab, it's not just a rangefinder. Really slams it home.
Yeah, a little bit of afters there, but the round to Ronald Wright, and Dodson learnt a bit of a lesson in that round.
There, you could actually be tempted to score that 10-8 to Dodson. I haven't done. I mean, the amount of punches are landed bang on target with nothing coming back. I mean, Dodson has to find a way around that. As I said, psychologically, he did the right thing, sticking with his tactics. But I think now the round's over, he wants to think something else. If he can't slip the jab, he's going to have to block it or get his own jab off quicker. And very, very difficult. Already we can see how difficult a job this is, Simon.
Won the WBO Intercontinental title in October '95. Stoppages, but he's had to wait a long time for this, 17 months in the wilderness. #1 challenger in the end, but still he couldn't really get that fight until tonight. That tells a story, doesn't it? 30 jabs landed in the opening round alone.
I mean, how do you advise your man to fight Ronald Wright? How do you do it? I mean, Dodson must get close, but he's getting close, and even when he's close, he's been out-punched in there. Dodson, I suppose, has to keep trying to pressurise Wright and hope the pace is going to slow down and let him get some heavy punches home. But that really was a shocking first round for Dodson. I think it must really have shocked him. He couldn't believe he could be so convincingly outboxed by anybody in the world in the first round of a fight. See, Dodson is usually a smooth performer, but he's having to force the work here. And we're only in the second round here. And this is the last thing that Dodson wants to have to do, force the action. He likes the moves and the punches to flow. That's not going to work tonight.
Yes, he needs success, Dodson. He needs to just get little successes along the way here. There haven't been many coming.
He has to stay close to Wright, because if he starts backing off now, as I said in the first round, it would be a tremendous psychological plus for Wright. Don't give Wright the impression that you've broken your heart or that you've changed your tactics, but this is really a tough start for Dodson. Full credit, he's sticking in there.
Dumping shots to the head, but now to the body from Ronnie Wright.
See, Wright has a lot more grit than people give him credit for. He's not a fancy Dan, he's the complete article. The thing that always impressed me about Wright, the first time he challenged for the world title, he was on the floor 5 times against Julio Cesar Vasquez, but he got up 5 times in a fight he knew he was losing. That takes some ticker. I mean, that shows you this guy really has courage.
Yeah, that was 3 years ago, and now he's astride the world.
The action is going to have to slow down, I think, before Dodson can become effective.
Dodson's swelling just under the left eye. Another good round for Ronnie Wright. Not the avalanche of punishment of the first round, but still convincingly for the American. There's Robin Reed. Next up, defending his WBC super middleweight title against Sugar Boy Malinga. And we spoke to Robin just a few minutes ago, and he had a special message for his opponent.
All I can say is one of your stable mates came over earlier the year and tried to do what you're going to try and do on December the 19th, and I'm afraid you're going home in exactly the same condition as he did, and that's a loser.
So, looking as confident as he sounds, Robin Reed. That super middle to follow this light middle, WBO light middleweight championship of the world, the 3rd world title fight that we've had tonight at the London Arena.
Well, Dodson has proved to us already, Simon, how badly he wants this. That's been 2 tough rounds, and he's right back up close to Wright again. I think he's going to have to continue with these tactics. He can't outbox this man, he's far too slick. So he's going to have to do it the hard way. It's not the way he normally does it. It looks like the only way. It's really a heartbreaker of a jab that Wright has. Real heartbreaker. Dodson's punches have been blocked.
For all his brilliance, he's just not able to get anything going.
So this guy is impossible. I mean, nobody else could make Adrian Dodson box so recklessly. But it's the only way he can get close. He tried to slip the jab in the first round. He knew straight away it wasn't working, so he's doing all he can do. He's marching straight into punching range and trying to draw right into a slugfest. But even when it comes down to that, Wright has plenty of grit, and he's even coming out on top in that. I think Dodson's just trying to drag some of the steam out of Wright, just trying to get the pace slowed down so as he can become effective. But he's taken too many punches in the process, and he's looking as though he's feeling the pace more than Wright.
As you say, it's really brave tactics, and unusual for him. He doesn't fight like this normally.
And I think it's the only way it can be done. I can't see any other. I mean, how do you advise a man to go out and face Ronald Wright? It's impossible. All you have to do is get out there and outgame him, and that's what Adrian's trying to do at the moment, and full credit to him.
Especially Adrian having to forsake the tactics that have taken him this far, both as amateur and pro.
I mean, such a classy, quality performer, and he's having to do it like this. It just shows you how good Winky Wright is. But I tell you, things have levelled up as we get towards the end of this round.
There's a good shot there, just as you said that.
Yeah, I mean, again, the better punches have been landed by Wright. Most of Dodson's stuff has been caught in gloves and blocked. But you have to say, the action's a bit more even. He's getting more chances to get punches off now. But you can see he does not like doing business this way.
Again, a few more words. Dodson beginning to mark up now around the left eye. Underneath it's swelling, no cut. But it's a testimony to the amount of quality work it's had to endure. Ronald Wright looking every bit as good as he did against Foster and Bingham. And you can see only double the amount of punches landed.
See, Dodson, he's doing all he can do. He's trying to draw this fella into a brawl. But even when it comes down to that, the guy is so strong, so full of grit, that he's at least matching Dodson and sometimes coming out on top. And that accurate jab is giving Dodson so many problems.
10 seconds.
What a tough night's work for Adrian Dodson.
There's the swelling.
Seconds out. Round 4.
A real testimony to his will. There's the scorecard so far. Very much one-way traffic.
Dodson changing tactics now, standing off, and we'll see if he can outbox this man. I don't think that the first 3 rounds have taken enough out of Wright. It looks as though actually it's taken more out of Dodson.
There's the swelling now above and below the left eye of Dodson. I have a feeling it could be important later on.
Dodson's taken too long to get the punches off, Simon. He's feeling the pace. He's used up an awful lot of steam in the first 3 rounds. Now he's just stalking. He's not pressurising. He has to get these punches out quicker. close is far better. Jab. Straight through the guard. See, Dodson's not a fighter who's used to taking punches like this. And he's got a good chin, he can take a shot. But, I mean, he's never used to taking as many shots as this, and he's probably wondering what's going on in there.
Still the jab, banging with real force. And Dodson looking a bit of a sorry sight on the left side of his face.
Body shots have been good from Dodson. Certainly the signs are Dodson getting a little bit closer, but you still feel, condition-wise, that the first 3 rounds have done more harm to Dodson than they have to Wright. Wright's punches bang on target, Dodson's catch arms and gloves.
Almost a one-arm fighter, isn't he? Right. Does very little with the left.
That's all he needs at this moment. Dodson's walking forward, and he's just stopping him with that jab. So accurate with it. I mean, your heart goes out to Adrian Dodson. He's giving it everything he's got. This is not the way he likes to perform. He's giving it all he's got. He really wants to win this fight, but you really have to feel for him. Right, just a little bit flat-footed at the end of the round. But again, his accuracy for me, just keeping him in control.
No flashiness there from Dodson. I think it's just been eaten out of him by this ramrod right hand from Wright. Incessant. 96 jabs, and quite a few of them with real power.
And what do you say to your man in the corner? What can Dodson's people? It's a job I do not envy. How do you psych this man up?
Dodson trying to counter.
Well, this is the best spell Dodson had, but no matter what he produced, his punches were landing. He landed a few good body shots, but most of Dodson's punches are landing on gloves. But Wright so accurate. Look, right through the guard, bang, 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 3, and a little nudge just to finish it off.
And that eye looks in danger of closing in a couple of rounds' time if we get more of the same. Needs to land a big shot, Dodson.
Yep, he needs a bit of success just to give him some glimmer of hope that he can stay in this fight, because nothing's gone right so far. And I've scored 4 rounds, all to Wright. And okay, the rounds have become more competitive in the last couple of rounds, but still no real great impression made by Dodson.
Sharp as he was either.
Yeah, but also signs here that Wright would be happy to slow that pace down a little bit. I mean, he's not stepping forward, he's quite happy to keep it at long range. A quiet round would suit Winky Wright as well. He's not doing too much here.
But the bad news for Dodson is that Wright's getting it.
Dodson's punches. He's really used up so much steam.
Wright calling Dodson forward and then brutalizing him with that right hand.
Dodson's doing everything you can ask a fighter to do in a fight. How do you get past that man's jab? See, again, Dodson's punches landing the gloves. Wright's clean onto the target. Dodson's giving it all he's got, Simon, all he's got. He just can't sort this fellow out. Never managed to make an impression yet.
And to put it in perspective, this is one of the most talented fighters that Britain's produced in recent years.
Real class, real quality. I mean, punches thrown in this round. I mean, Dodson's thrown twice as many punches in this round as Wright, but they've all been blocked, slipped, and countered.
Dodson giving him the evil eye, but there's just about only one of those eyes open. He's being bust up again.
Now the vicious punches coming back from Wright. It's as though he gives Dodson his way for the first part of the round, then meets them head on.
Terrific. It's a boxing lesson that Wright's giving Adrian Dodson at the moment. Terrific amateur he was too, 156 of his 60 amateur fights, and then turned pro. As Jim said, had that early problem when he lost to Julio Cesar Vasquez in his first world title shot 3 years ago, but since then wins all the way, winning the title against Bronco McCart in Michigan last year.
See, Dodson giving it all he's got. You really have to feel for Adrian Dodson. He waits so long for a chance to fight for the world title, and in the other corner you get a man like this.
Corners, 10 seconds.
You couldn't ask any more from Dodson.
Keep slipping his lead and whip that left crossing.
Keep slipping his lead. Easier said than done.
Yeah, well, he's tried that in the first couple of rounds. Maybe now that the pace has slowed slightly, there's a chance maybe he could slip the jab and get inside. But Wright is such a complete fighter. Even when Dodson gets past the jab, he's got something else to come up with.
The eye is closing all the time now. Another round or two and it will be closed, and you've got to fight Wright with two eyes open. You can't fight him one-handed, and I have a feeling if this carries on, this is going to get stopped.
It's reaching the stage that a corner could start thinking, if you can't see Dodson turning this around, then you want to get him out of there. Look at the state of his face. He's a man not used to taking punches. Dodson should not be getting hit as often as this in the fight. And you just wonder, he's given all he's got, how much has he got left? Yes. And this fella still looks the stronger of the two.
Absolutely, and he has a big career still in front of him, Adrian Dodson.
Yep,
it could be truncated if they carry on too long with this.
Yeah, but the decision's going to have to be made soon. If things don't change in the corner, what is the point? They will carry on with this. If Dodson starts making a dent on this fella, then fine, leave him in there. But look, he's walked right onto that southpaw jab again. And Wright still looking far the stronger of the two. If Wright was beginning to weaken, take some shots, then fine. But he's virtually unmarked. Look at the state of Adrian's face.
Yes, bleeding from the mouth and nose. That horrible mouse over his left eye. Wincing just above us there was Adrian Dodson, and that's not a good sign.
I mean, he hasn't stopped coming forward. The jabs now are stopping him in his tracks. The jabs are hurting him now.
Wright just looking back and admiring his work now and piling it in. And Dodson, his mouth gaping open. He's a sorry sight.
He's beginning to look like the victim of a severe mugging, isn't he?
He is.
And Wright, not a mark. Dodson not been able to make even an impression on the man. It just shows you the quality of world champion this man is. Dodson now swinging punches. I mean, this is not the real Adrian Dodson. It is the real Adrian Dodson, but it's just nothing you can do with this fellow.
Just completely outclassed by this spellbinding man, Ronnie Wright.
I mean, you're trying to give Adrian Dodson the round. You're trying to score the round to him for the amount of work he's doing, the amount of heart he's putting into what he's doing.
But then Wright comes back with 4 or 5 vicious shots.
I mean, Dodson, he really has outworked Wright in this round, but the quality, again, coming from Wright. See, look, so in control. Nothing that Dodson has done in this round has really made an impression.
It's a lazy, languid style, and it's too good for Adrian Dodson.
can't see his level. I'll put it out. I can't see his level. Okay, I'll put it out.
I have to look at his eye and his nose.
Okay.
Okay?
Can you press the ice first? Yes, right. Come on, come on. Come here. Come on, concentrate.
Going to carry on. I think the doctor's being called up. Barry Hearn is in the corner.
Why don't you do this up?
See if you see anything out of it.
Okay, how's the nose?
All right, let's have a...
It's pandemonium. Doctor's in there having a look. The referee's in there.
Okay, okay.
He can't see.
The eyes almost closed, yeah.
It stopped. It's over. A brave effort. And he's a talented guy. And he will come again, Adrian Dodson, but not tonight. This man was spectacular. We go to the old cliche of pound for pound. Pound for pound, there aren't many better fighters than Ronald Wright.
No, he does it all. How do you fault? Tell me what he did wrong tonight. Absolutely nothing. He produced everything, raised the pace, lowered the pace, mixed it, boxed it long range, did everything perfectly against a real world-class performer. And look at the state of Adrian Dodson's face here. I'm pleased the fight's over, because Dodson will definitely come again.
The important thing is learning from your mistake. If it was a mistake, learning from your defeat for sure. Dean Francis.
Well, I think you've learned it.
Learned that.
Don't trouble this fellow again. Let somebody else challenge him.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the fifth round, the contest has been stopped with Adrian Dodson unable to continue. The winner and still light middleweight champion of the world, Ronald Wright.
So 3 defences in the UK, all 3 of them have been comprehensive wins. Ensley, Bingham and Steve Foster perhaps will be feeling a little better about that when they see a guy of Adrian Dodson's calibre torn apart.
Adrian Dodson.
It was amazing. It was, on the scorecard, it was a one-horse race against a man of proven quality. Thankfully, the fight, 5 rounds plenty. So 6 rounds plenty. So let Adrian Dodson come again. Still plenty to offer, and he goes out carrying his shield. Tremendous performance from Dodson.
I think Adrian Dodson knew he was going to have to produce the performance of his career to match this man, Ronald Winky Wright, but first outing in world class proves just how tough it really can be, and we have a potential star, whatever the weight division in this man now, perhaps, right? Only 26 years of age, 37 wins in 38 before tonight, extending that record, still WBO World Light Middleweight champion. And Barry, more worrying than all of that for the rest, he looked to do that so easily tonight.
Well, that's the name, you know, the name of professional, but in the game in professional boxing is to stay cool when you're in the firing line, when you're in the trenches. And he was absolutely composed to the last minute. He took everything out. Dodson outworked him in that last 6th round there, but he never broke through that impregnable defence. He's incredible. He's certainly one of the best champions out there at the moment, and he's so cool to watch. He's got a peekaboo style, but normally you've got to drop your hands to throw punches. He doesn't do it. He can throw shots from that peekaboo style. He's so quick with the jab. It's his most effective weapon. He's a class act.
Must love England. That's 3 out of 3 on this side of the Atlantic. Maybe he'll take up residence here. He's talking to Simon Reed.
Ron, are you thinking of taking out residence here?
No. But it's a nice country and everybody been treating me really well, and I appreciate that. I have a lot of fans came out to see me win, just like a lot of people came out to see him win.
We reckon that was one of the finest performances we've seen in recent years in a British ring. It really was fantastic. Adrian Dodson is a brilliantly talented man.
Yes, he's a very good fighter, very tough. You know, I seen I was catching with real good shots, and he was taking them and kept coming, but I knew after a while that it'd wear him down, either get him tired or bust him up.
He was trying to stay close to you for a long time. Were you worried at any stage that he might outman you?
No. I knew that, you know, he might come at me, and I seen that he never went over 8 rounds or something like that, so I was prepared to take him into the later rounds and then wear him down. So when he came close to me, I kept my ground and made him work so he can get tired, and then in the later rounds, I can outwork him.
How would you rate that performance yourself and what you've done against Foster and Bingham?
I think that was a very good performance. You know, he gave me different views the fight, he kept coming in with his head and, you know, trying to work. He didn't mean to butt me, but he kept coming in like that, so it made me have to look out for his head and his punches. But after a while, when I caught on to what he was doing, then I just used my talent to box around him and catch him with the jab.
Well, we're almost running out of fighters to put up against you. You've taken almost the cream of our crop. What's next for you?
Hopefully I can get back to the United States and fight on, you know, HBO, pay-per-view, Showtime. And, you know, I'm looking at the WBA champion, Laurent Wright. So I'm trying to unify the belts and, you know, whatever the people put in front of me, the fans want to see me fight, then I'm ready to fight.
Well, congratulations. It's a joy to watch you, Ronnie Wright.
Oh, I appreciate it, and I want to thank everybody in England for supporting me. And y'all are a great bunch of fans, and hopefully I'll see y'all again.
Take care.
Yeah, but the British are going to have to find somebody good to do with him, aren't they? What a performance yet again from that man. Duke McKenzie and Nicky Piper, let's get some thoughts on that from you. Nicky first.
Well, I can't believe the quality of that performance. I really thought Adrian Dodson was a world beater, and he made him look totally second-rate there. But there are many world champions at each weight these days, but that is, I believe, the world champion at light middleweight. He is the best in the world. That fight was of tremendous quality, and he made it look so easy. Never once did he break a real sweat. I mean, he took everything on the gloves. His jab was so well disguised, so well hard to defend against Dodson. Will be world champion if he gets the shot again, but not against Winky Wright.
Barry, let's review some of the best of that work from Wright.
Yeah, well, I mean, he really kicked off from the very start. His jab, that's the best weapon. His jab is incredible. He keeps his hands up, tucked up nice and tight. Watch him smacking through with the jab, and it's not just a rangefinder. He snaps your head back, and he breaks through that defence, and it's the one thing that really is frustrating and confusing to any fighter. It keeps breaking through with the defence, snapping your head back, snapping your head repeatedly. He's just done it time and time again. And no matter what Adrian Dodson tried, and he went at it like hammer and tongue, he just couldn't get through again, breaking through with that defence, snapping his head, and you know, confusing him and sort of traumatising him. And again, you know, slipping underneath, and at no stage did Dodson actually break through that tight defence. And every time he walked in, he would throw 4 or 5 punches, hit him on the arm, and then he'd just take 6 or 7 clean punches right through his guard.
Duke, I guess the only good news for Dodson in this situation is he's lost to a very good man, and he can learn from a display like that, can he?
Yeah, he will undoubtedly learn from this, but he set off at such a hard pace. And Winky Wright, he had his number from the outset. He said that he was prepared to let Dodson get off, do what work he wanted to do, and then take him into the later stages of the fight, and then go on and outwork him and you know, try and force a late stoppage. And as it worked out, the stoppage came a lot earlier than he thought. But he just seemed to be just one or two punches ahead of Dodson at all points in the fight. That jab is what brought up that eye. And he just couldn't miss him. And at this point in the fight, he's just enjoying himself now. The uppercuts and everything. It's just so relaxed. And
but in fairness to Dodson, that's the only way he had to fight him. He had to crowd him. He had to throw punches. He's a heavy puncher, and he had to do it that way. He's always fought that way, giving him lateral movement.
I do feel though that the only shot he may have got through with would have been straight punches. Winky Wright had his hands cupping his head. Well, either side, he never threw any straight punches, they were all hooked.
And he seemed to go for the body quite a lot.
The body.
Well, that was a gamble too, you know. He had to go for the body to bring his hands and get that tight defence down so that he could land some clean head punches. Just didn't work, the guy's too good.
Night of world-class action from the London Arena. Don't forget, of course, it's Madison Square Garden, New York, later on, Nassim Hamed. But in London, we've proved, perhaps, that world-class is not easy to attain. Mickey Cantwell found that out the hard way tonight. A failed attempt to win the WBO World Strawweight title. Cantwell losing to Eric Jamili, ref stop fight, 8th round. And Barry Jones, the Welshman, triumph for Britain tonight. He is the new WBO World Super Featherweights champion, a unanimous points winner over Wilson Palacio of Colombia. But for Adrian Dodson, a hard lesson in the realities of mixing it with the best in the world. And nobody could begrudge that. Winky Wright, yet another vastly impressive display from